it's Jennifer from Scrapping Under the Influence. So for my last August design team project for Country Craft Creations using the Sunshine and Blue Skies paper, I didn't have a whole lot of the paper left, but I had a whole bunch of the little ephemera pieces. So I've actually got two projects for you. Only one of them are we going to do a tutorial, but once I'm done with this, I will show you the other project. We are going to do a combination of a shaker card and a spinner card. When you've got ephemera pieces left, they're usually a good option for cards because usually you'll have scraps of paper and whatnot that are going to go along with this. So to make this card, our card base is going to be 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. We're just going to score that in half. We're going to mat this. This was one of the 4x6 cut aparts that I just had set aside. And for cards, I don't usually get too into the glue or the score tape. I usually just use the good old ATG gun. And I think we're going to have, I think we're going to open to the side here. So I'm just going to fold this in half and center that little mat up on there. Okay, so to do our shaker and to do our little spinner piece, what I have here is a piece of acetate, and I'm actually going to, there it is, that is 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. What I've done is I've cut a little hole in the center of this here, and I'm sure it's kind of hard to see because it is acetate and it's clear. Maybe that's a little bit better. But the way I got that in the center, I've done it a couple of different ways in the past. I've done it where I've got a very small like circle die that I've run this through like my Gemini with to do that. But what I did with this, because it's not going to matter if the acetate gets a tiny bit bent because this is going to be sitting over the center part, all I did is fold it in half, get right about the center, and in half again, so that I've got like this little square, and then I just cut that corner off to make that opening in the center. The thing you want to be sure of, that this opening is not bigger than your pop dots. This tends to work best with round pop dots. You could do it with square if you wanted to. I literally have these on hand simply for these kind of cards. Okay, so I'm actually going to use this one because it did come out a little bit smaller. We are going to, for our frame, it's just another 4x4 square that I have cut in 1/2 inch to remove that center piece to make it into our frame for the outside of our shaker. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put my tape on this first. I'm going to take my apparently dusty acetate. My husband's working on finishing our basement, so my craft room is like really, really dusty all of a sudden. Okay, so we've got our acetate on the back here. What we're going to do is we're going to take our little person that's going in the center here, and to determine my card size, I actually measured my little ephemera piece that's going in the middle here. She's 3 1/2, so I made my card base 4 1/4 because I knew I wanted to mat it underneath the shaker with this piece, and that was 4x6. So what you're going to do is you're going to take, center this up here. You're going to kind of look on the back here about where does that need to go. Okay, you're going to do that. You're going to pull the back off of here. I'm going to dust it a little bit with our powder so that the back of that pop dot is no longer sticky. I'm going to take one of my tiny pop dots and center that up right in the middle. Pull the backing off of that, and then I'm just going to feed that through the middle of my acetate. Okay? And I realize on the acetate it's really hard to see, and I apologize. Okay. Okay, so we're going to put that face down. We're going to take another one of these. And then we're going to put that down on top of the other one. So now we've got our little spinner piece that, of course, doesn't want to spin for me. There she goes. She's not stuck anymore. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to run foam tape around the outside edges of this. But before we do that, I'm going to come in here with that little bag, and I'm going to do the same thing on here just to kind of get the staticiness down. I had a dryer sheet down here that I usually use for this. I've lost it somewhere in the absolute disaster that is my craft room right now. So that will work in a pinch. It's better if you have the dryer sheet, but it's okay. So to do our shaker, and of course you don't want to take the backing off of that pop dot, that center one. Okay. You could take it off and then use your little powder tool to de-sticky it. That's fine too. If you're worried that this backing is not going to stay on there, then that's exactly what you would need to do. But we should be okay. I actually did a card like this with a stamp set that I had stamped and colored and die cut and, you know, all that fun stuff. That was another little swimming pool type themed stamp set last summer, and for whatever reason I never took pictures of my cards. I don't know, I gave them away. I didn't have any left. And I kind of was kicking myself because it was such a cute, it came out so cute, and it was just kind of a fun, different idea that as soon as I had my ephemera pieces for this collection, I was like, oh, I know what I'm going to do. Okay, we are doing 2 layers of foam tape. And that's just in part because the little circle dots we're using for that centerpiece are kind of tall. You could, if you wanted to, use chipboard circles to give yourself that dimension to help her spin. That would work as well. Actually, I'm going to lay this flat. And we just need to decide what we're going to put in the inside here. If we're going to use these same little kind of shimmery things that I used on my album, which I think I am. I don't think I want to use, yeah, I don't think I want to use those. Okay, so I'm just going to pour a few of them right here in the middle. And I think I'm going to add, just a few little sequins in there. All right. So now, being very careful not to disturb our pile of shaker stuff, we are going to, get this down over the top. All right, so she's sticking somewhere. I can't figure out where. There we go. So there we go. There's our spinner on top of our shaker. Now for the inside, you can just decorate this however you want to. I may put the rest of that cut apart in the middle here and just add some more of the little ephemera pieces. I've got a bunch of them over here somewhere else. But there you go. There is your spinner shaker card, which really we could even add something on the outside of this here, like this little umbrella down here in the corner would be cute. I think that's actually what I'm going to do. Put that down here in the corner. I could get some bling and add something up here. I could stamp a sentiment and do it like on a little flag up here. That would be really cute. But there's our card. We've got our shaker card. In my second project, using all of my leftovers, is a banner. So this is my summer banner using the ephemera pieces from the I Love Summer, or I'm sorry, not I Love Summer, Sunshine and Blue Skies collection. I did this on scrap pieces of chipboard, which I will show you really quickly how I did my cuts for my little pennants here. I covered them with some of the My Colors cardstock that is available in the Country Craft Creations shop. I cut my letters using some scraps of the Echo Park solids that matched the Simple Stories collection. I used my Cricut for that. That is the Mickey font. That is absolutely like my go-to font for pretty much anything when I'm cutting letters for with my Cricut. So yeah, it came out pretty cute. I kind of like it. You know, just used my seam binding to run my little banner there, some of the ribbon to tie it off and give it a little more pop, and you know, lots of foam tape and things to give this some different layers and whatnot, and there you go. So there are my final 2 projects for August for Country Craft Creations for the design team. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you were going to do the banner, to do the pennants, and I did actually cut those by hand, what I did, I had scrap pieces of chipboard. This is 4 by 6. I think these were actually 4 by 5 3/4, but it will work either way. All I did is I took my ruler, using the little centering piece here on the bottom. I found the center point on my chipboard, and then I measured up on each side 2 inches and marked where that 2 inches was. And then all I did was take good heavy scissors and just line my scissors up between those 2 points and either cut that way to make the pointed ones, or I actually, to do the notched little flag style, I did a line here, and then I did a line here to find my center point, and then I just went from that corner into that center. And that's how I did my flags. All you do after that, you just glue your colored cardstock on there. Usually I don't try to cut the cardstock and glue it. I usually glue the cardstock so it hangs over the edge, and then just put this on a self-healing mat with an X-Acto knife and just cut around the chipboard to cover that chipboard with the colored cardstock, colored cardstock, and then punch some holes and start decorating, and there you go. Hope you enjoyed the projects, and I will be back shortly with some really fun Halloween stuff I'm really excited about. Thanks for watching.